This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Wednesday, March 1st. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, continuing with our statement from the Nye County Sheriff's Office from yesterday, and they issued a statement saying as of March 6th that Nye County would take over control of the Nye County Animal Control officers as well as the Nye County Animal Shelter. Of course, we've done interviews with the Nye County Sheriff, that would be Joe McGill, who said that he was displeased with this takeover. We did get a statement from Frank Carboni, who was the main chairperson who was in charge of this move. The Nye County Sheriff's Office issued a statement yesterday, and we asked for a statement from the Nye County Commissioners and, of course, our Nye County Manager, Tim Sutton. Nye County Commissioner Frank Carboni did release a statement to us today saying that regarding the Nye County takeover of animal control in the Nye County Shelter and reading the items that are on Facebook and the items that are on the internet, he says that his name is being used quite often. Unfortunately, my name is the only one of many names that were involved in making the decision to move the animal shelter as well as the animal control officers out of the sheriff's management. Just to be clear, animal shelter and animal control salaries and benefits and services supply budgets annually are budgeted in the general fund and health function. The budgets have never been part of the sheriff, and as you know, it's been managed by other organizations within the county for many years. It's been managed by Buildings and Grounds, Emergency Management, to name a couple. If you recall, when we went through the shelter to show you how it was set up, I indicated that animal control would be located at the shelter and they would be managed by the animal control manager. They would be managing the intake area within the shelter. That was part of the plan prior to getting involved with the animal shelter and animal control. Just so it's clear, animal control officers were not represented by any law enforcement collective bargaining units. The positions were represented by the Nye County Employees Association bargaining unit. The budgets have always been budgeted in one place with the health function of the general fund. Thank you for your response. We messaged back to our County Commissioner, Frank Carboni. The Sheriff's Office was the entity that issued that statement yesterday, not the County Commissioner. We also let Commissioner Carboni let him know that we appreciated his statement, and we also added that it is highly unusual because we requested several interviews from different entities, including all of our commissioners yesterday, which we called all of them, and including our county manager, with no return phone calls. But we did get text messages back from County Manager Tim Sutton and, of course, Frank Carboni, that it is highly unusual that our elected officials have now come to the point where they are not doing in-person interviews anymore, and that is not allowing for back and forth questions. We also ask why that is now at this point, and our only question is, will this item be on the agenda for any public to have any input in an open forum, because we've been told that it will not be on an agenda. And the Nye County Sheriff's Office, of course, issued that statement yesterday saying effective March 6th, the Nye County Sheriff's Office will no longer oversee the Nye County Animal Control Officers or the Nye County Animal Shelter. The Nye County Commissioners have decided that the Nye County Animal Shelter Manager, Tasha Crabtree, will assume supervision of the animal control from the Nye County Sheriff's Office. This change was initiated by the Board of County Commissioner Chairperson Frank Carboni at the end of December 2022 and has taken several months to configure the logistics of the transfer to ensure continuity of the service to the public. Nye County Animal Shelter Manager Crabtree will supervise the Nye County Animal Shelter in Tonopah and Pahrump and supervise animal control officers countywide. This item will not be brought before the Board of County Commissioners. We did ask and confirm that on the agenda before the public to hear their opinion for or against this important change. And of course, we are once again confirming that again. And we have talked to many entities who said that this will not go and that the decision has already been made. Of course, once again, we have spoke to Sheriff Joe McGill, who states very adamantly that he would like to keep the Nye County Animal Control officers as a separate entity for oversight of the Nye County Animal Shelter and for law enforcement purposes of investigations for animal abuse and neglect, and many other reasons why that they should be a separate entity under law enforcement, as they have been for many years. Well, a Prump man has been under arrest for allegedly firing a weapon into the air where people were present.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office are reporting that they have arrested an individual by the name of Rodney Nottingham for one count of unlawful discharge of a firearm and endangering the public. On February 26th of this year, deputies were dispatched for a report of shots being fired in front of a residence. Upon arrival, the deputy made contact with the reporting party, who stated that her neighbors directly across the street allegedly had a verbal altercation which escalated to one of the parties firing a gun twice in an unknown direction. It was discovered that the residence was owned by Rodney Nottingham. Another deputy was able to make contact with Rodney via recorded phone call, where he stated he was having a small gathering and one of the individuals had received a phone call from her boyfriend who was upset about her whereabouts, then left. And approximately 20 minutes later, two black males showed up to the house and were visibly upset. Both males were on the outmost edge of Rodney's property, next to the street. Rodney allegedly retrieved a 12-gauge shotgun from his home and fired it once in the air from his front porch. The two individuals then retreated across the street to their car. Rodney allegedly fired another shot into the air. Then the two males fled the scene. Rodney was placed under arrest for unlawful discharge of a firearm, for shooting a shotgun twice into the air and endangering the public where he had no lawful reason to.
All right, much more news on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by John Air. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call 775-751-2372.
Welcome back. Well, the Board of County Commissioners approved the appointment of a whistleblower protection hearing officer.
The Board of County Commissioners appointed Kristen McQueary to provide services as hearing officer for whistleblower protection.
We had an ex-employee that is filing a whistleblower complaint against us, and so per our policy, you get to pick a hearing officer.
So could you tell me, what will this hearing officer actually do?
They'll decide if this is a case or not. And then if they do, then it'd be just like an arbitration. They will hear both sides and make a determination if there is something to move forward with.
I'll apologize, Ilona. I'm trying to understand the process here. We have HR, we have collective bargaining units, where they're represented by stewards, by their representatives, by their executive committee of their secretary, treasurer, their vice chair, their chair, president. Okay, we also have the DA's office. I'm having a hard time understanding why we need outside source, a hearing officer, to come in to establish whether we have this former employee has a case against the county or against their respective department head or elect. It doesn't really matter. I'm having a hard time. Could you help?
Well, the CBA, the unions would only help if you are an active employee. They don't have anything to do with former employees. This employee was terminated, and she feels that it was because she assisted in the treasurer investigation. So she is saying that it is a whistleblower situation. So this is the route that she has chosen to take.
We need to be careful
please.
talking about any details.
Right.
That could identify anybody.
Okay. So Mr. DA, please. So are you in agreement that this would be the proper protocol and procedure for us to even consider hearing officer?
Yeah, it's something we do need to do, and I know you made reference to the DA's office, but I represent the county.
Yes.
So I'm representing one of the sides. So that's not something we can do in-house. And it's very common in these type of situations to have somebody from the outside come in and make these type of decisions. They're impartial Have no connections to anybody.
Now I'd like to call for the vote.
Aye.
Jabor's aye.
Aye.
What do you say?
Passes 5-0.
Well, veterans and their families are invited to an all-in-one resource fair tomorrow at the Bob Roode Community Center. This Friday, March 3rd from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Bob Roode Community Center located at the corner of Highway and Basin Avenue here in Pahrump, Nevada, is the 5th annual Cless Sanders Memorial Veterans Extravaganza. Attending will be state and local service officers from the Pahrump VA Clinic, the VA Patient Advocate, Prostate Cancer Support Group, Suicide Prevention, the VA Benefit Hospital, Marine Corps League, Battle-Born Quilts of Valor, DAV Chapter 15, Veterans, Vets Helping Vets, and of course the Holiday Task Force and American Legion. We'll see you there this Friday, March 3rd from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Bob Roode Community Center. For more information, you can contact Dr. Tom Waters at 702-379-3449. You may want to stay in town on Saturday night for a special performance at 5280 Mexican Grub and Pub. Hip-hop artist Armageddon grew up right here in Pahrump and brings a few other talented performers to the stage, presented by Oblivion Entertainment.
Been out here the majority of my life. Parents moved us out here when we were young from Las Vegas. Always grew up loving all different kinds of music, and around 5th grade is when I found the spark to actually start writing and delving into hip-hop. So there's some stuff that's more upbeat and more danceable, party type music. Other stuff is more emotional, people can relate to on a deeper level. To me, it all falls within the realm of hip-hop. I get inspired by a lot of my different influences, a lot of artists that I grew up listening to, as well as some of the newer people that I'm starting to hear. Some of them really have a gift for it, like the way they put words together. It's the way you structure things, whether it be storytelling or even if it's something that's just another catchy song with a lot of metaphors and whatnot. The way it's structured and put together means a whole lot, and a lot of people really influence the way I do that to catch other people's attention. I've had a lot of people reach out and tell me to venture more into singing, which I've been doing in the last couple of years, and it's been working out so far. Some other artists, we have Mariah Thompson. She's an R&B singer based out of Las Vegas. My friend YB Malice, he's another hip-hop artist based out of Las Vegas. DJ Sounds, he's another local in town. If you have the chance, talk to him, parties, events, anything you need. He's really good on the tables. A lot of interesting acts, it's gonna be a lot of fun, I'll say that. Influences all the way from Ice Cube to Tech Nine, Joyner Lucas, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. Even outside of the realm of hip-hop, bands like the Chili Peppers, there's Linkin Park, System of a Down. There's so many different influences that touch on how I do things and the way I do my things. So I have an album called 304 that I put out 2 years ago, an EP called Eviction Notice that I released a year ago, and 4 singles available on all streaming services right now. 304, it was really just my take on the raw, going at it version of hip hop. Like back in the day when I'm from the 90s, so we still had tape recorders that we would record ourselves on while we had a track playing on the boombox and all of that good stuff. So it's really reminiscent of that and when I first started to find my love of hip hop. I know there are a lot of people in town that love hip hop, love R&B. I know there are a lot of younger people, 21 and up, that I remember when I was 21 out here, there wasn't a whole lot to do. There definitely wasn't a whole lot of things like this. So it'll be interesting. I hope we get a pretty big turnout, man. It should be something that this town enjoys. We have 2 videos in the works for 2 of my singles that I just released last year, Lit Tonight and Gone. And we were all over the place shooting both of them, but the end product is going to be something special. And you can follow me on my socials, Facebook and Instagram, Armageddon, or Armageddon, the number 4 and real. There's always something going on, so just take a look there and you'll know about the shows, any video releases, songs coming out. Anything you need to know will be on those pages. My email is victorjackson931@gmail.com. For now, you can send booking inquiries there. Working on branching that out there. It's going to be a real good show. It's heavily hip-hop oriented, so should be a lot of dancing, grooving, things like that. The R&B portion is a big part of that, getting people to move and actually open up and kind of start to relax and enjoy the vibe. Other than that, it should be high-paced, high energy. The DJ is going to have it turned up. We're going to have it turned up. It's going to be real fun. 9 p.m., March 4th, 9 p.m. It is free to get in. We're asking that you just get 2 drinks when you get here. Minimum. That's it. Come on down. Have some fun.
Looks like it's going to be a fun show. All right, we'll have your health report on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
An Ohio man is raising awareness about the importance of not ignoring symptoms after doctors discovered more than 100 polyps in his colon. As Brittany Harris reports, he was lucky to have found them when he did. Otherwise, his story could have turned out much differently.
As a financial advisor, husband, and father of 5, Dan Good keeps pretty busy. So when he started having bowel issues, he didn't think much of it.
I always thought it was maybe what I was eating or like lactose intolerance.
But the 39-year-old's symptoms persisted, and his wife grew concerned.
So it progressively kept getting a little bit worse and a little bit worse. And that's when I had mentioned it to my wife, and she's like, yeah, you gotta get it checked out.
It didn't take long before his doctors at Cleveland Clinic discovered what was wrong. He had more than 100 polyps in his colon and was at high risk for colorectal cancer.
Because of the large number of polyps, with each one of them having the potential to turn into a cancer, the best treatment would be removing all of the colon, leaving the rectum in place, and then hooking up the small intestine to the rectum.
Dr. David Liska performed Dan's surgery. He says everything went well.
It's a large surgery, but we can do it minimally invasively, meaning very small incisions. So the recovery is actually not as bad as you'd think it would be. And people do very well with having that part of their colon removed.
Dan is now back at work and hasn't had any other problems.
I literally feel better than I did before the surgery.
However, he does have one regret.
Probably something I should have done a long time ago is just get regular checkups.
Especially with colorectal cancer cases on the rise in young adults. Dr. Liska says they aren't sure what's causing the trend.
There are many different theories. It's definitely related to what we eat, but it's possibly also related to the microbiome, meaning the bacteria that live in our guts.
Regardless, he says it's important not to ignore any symptoms. For Cleveland Clinic, I'm Brittany Harris.
Well, currently, screenings are recommended for individuals 45 years old or older. However, Dr. Liska says if you have certain medical conditions, such as irritable bowel syndrome, a family history of colorectal cancer, or advanced polyps, you should get checked out sooner. Well, Never Forgotten Animal Society has a bunch of new animals that they have gotten in, but we have a couple that we still want to get adopted out. And one of them is one that we showed you last week, and that is Patches, who is available right now for adoption.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi everyone, this is Pat with Never Forgotten Animal Society, and in just a moment we're going to introduce you to Patches. He is a puppy. He's approximately 25 weeks old. He has been neutered, has had all of his shots. He is pretty much a brown and white pit bull mix, and he is the sweetest man. He just wants to be your best buddy. He does need someone that's had some experience with puppies because he needs to have some training. But other than that, he wants to be with you, wants to be involved with you, he wants to run with you, he wants to play with you, he likes to fetch. He is just one very, very energetic young man. And I hope you enjoy him. His name is Patches, and again, he's available here at Never Forgotten Animal Society at 3091 North David, just off of Bella Vista between Blag and Leslie. Our phone number is 775-537-8674. We open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 5 every day. No appointments are necessary, so please come on in.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, we're looking up at the top of the mountain where it was clear. We know there's going to be another storm coming through. We'll keep you posted on that with John in a moment.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios and worldwide on the local BTV app, the app you should get on your phone. It's like Google. It's everywhere. You need that thing. Fernley, 36 degrees. Fallon at 40, 32 out in Carson City. Not too bad. Cool spot awards go to Tonopah, near tie with Goldfield at 29. 9 at night in Tonopah. You are frosty all day long. Gosh. All right, Beatty saw 39, 45 out in Amargos and Las Vegas. The hot spot at 47 degrees. Not too bad. Death Valley saw 56. A little bit chilly. Put on a sweater out in Death Valley. That's kind of rare. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, we're looking at 41 degrees is our current temperature. 45 was today's high, and the winds blowing out of the northwest. Sure felt frosty with that humidity up to 58% to 13 miles per hour. Those wind speeds. Sun rose this morning at 6:14, setting this evening in about 9 minutes. Look forward to 5:38 to be official. And the low tonight we're heading to is 32 degrees, and the partly cloudy skies should yield some beautiful colors in the sky as the sun is setting. It'll be quite a show here for the next little bit. But some important news to tell you about. Look at this. National Weather Service, Las Vegas. Wind advisory remains in effect until like 4 p.m. Thursday. It's going to be 4 a.m. All right, so it's going to be blowy overnight. Northwesterly winds 20, 25 miles per hour, gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Watch out for that. If you're heading over the bump and out of Pahrump into Las Vegas or either direction, you might want to check Spring Mountains, Red Rock Canyon, see if they are open. They were closed for a little bit this morning, but the rest of the week, well, let's take a look at it. It's an astounding affair. Look at this couple days of sunshine after the wind gets out of here. That'll be nice. Temperatures ranging up to 59 degrees. Looks like we get a spat of wind on Saturday, 21 miles per hour. Do we have a chance of rain in there? Could be. It's cloudy skies and all kinds of turbulence in the atmosphere. Winds abate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We get down to 10 mile per hour average and partly cloudy skies. So it's going to be kind of a blow fest this weekend, but we'll recover nicely on Monday. And won't that be nice? All right, so make some plans. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, well, be careful driving out there. We are keeping an eye on that road commuters report, as well as the Knight County Sheriff's Office has been posting some of the road closures, and we are posting them on our pages as they come through. If there is opening and closures, we're keeping a pretty good eye on them as they are open and closed, as those snowplows get out and there, and NDOT does their jobs. And thank you so much for all of the people who are out there working in this inclement weather, of course, and stay safe out there, you guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.